Hi, everybody. Welcome to the honors program at URI. Welcome to URI and our online orientation. So my name is Liam Malloy. I'm one of the associate directors in the honors program, and I'm a professor in the economics department. So I'm going to be walking you through the requirements for the honors program, focusing really on the first year, right, and the first semester. And then I will give you my Starfish advising hours for this summer and my email address at the end, and so you can contact me with any questions that you have. So, as some of you may have heard me talk about in the Welcome Day, the honors program at URI is a little bit unique. It is not an honors college. You don't need to apply directly to the honors program. So most of you who are watching this video probably got the welcome email we sent to the honors program, and that is based on your high school grades and or your SAT or ACT test scores. But going forward, all you need to be a part of the honors program or to be eligible to take honors classes is a 3.4 GPA. So that is really the cutoff that we look at. Now, why would you want to do the honors program? Well, I think the biggest benefit is that our classes are small. So our 100 and 200 level classes, as we'll talk about, are capped at 20. A lot of the classes that we offer are interdisciplinary with really interesting subjects that you can take while you're satisfying your general education requirements with great professors who have come to us with these great ideas that they want to teach. Your classes will be filled with other honors students, which often makes for great class discussions. And we're very flexible. So because you don't need to apply to the honors program, we really have two groups of students. We have students that will take 1 or 2 or 3 honors classes as part of their general education requirements, and then move on to do whatever else they want to do at URI. And then we have also a group of students who will do the 18 credit honors program. And as long as you fulfill those 18 credits, which ends with the honors project, and have a 3.4 GPA, you will get the notation on your transcript and diploma that you completed the honors program. That is for later. This discussion is really going to focus on the first year classes. So as I said, our classes tend to be much smaller. So the 100 and 200 level classes are capped at 20. The only exception is the fall colloquium. Most people do that either sophomore or junior year, and you can't take it as a first year student anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. And our 300 and 400 level classes are capped at 15. And so that means our classes tend to be more seminar style. So, the students will do the reading before the class. There'll be less lecturing and more discussion. So I teach, for instance, Econ 201, which is Principles of Microeconomics. When I teach it to a big class, I do a lot of lecturing. I always stop and ask for questions, but usually I don't get too many questions. But in an honors section, which I will be teaching in the fall, I will have more class discussion. And so it's usually about sort of half and half lecturing and class discussion. It's easier to ask questions and get a discussion going. So these are your general education requirements at URI. So you are probably going to see this a bunch in your summer orientation, but I just wanted to run through it one more time because it makes it actually a lot easier to do honors because all of our 100 and 200 level honors classes will satisfy some of these general education requirements. So most classes that are gen ed classes will meet 2 of these requirements. Some will even meet 3 because they will have this grand challenge. And then there will be some that just satisfy 1. So you need to hit all of them, but you also need to have 40 credits. And so we're going to talk about that both in terms of honors classes and then also thinking about AP classes or other types of, whether it's dual enrollment or other ways that you're bringing credit into URI. So these are the 13 categories you have to satisfy. So there's 4 in knowledge, STEM, social and behavioral sciences, humanities, and arts and design. 4 in competencies, so writing effectively, communicating effectively, stemming effectively, and information literacy. 3 in responsibilities, civic knowledge and responsibility, global responsibility, and diversity and inclusion responsibilities, and then integrate and apply. Now, if you do the 18 credits in the honors program, the honors project satisfies this integrate and apply general education requirement, as do a lot of sort of capstone courses in your major, but certainly you don't have to worry about this D1 right away because your project will satisfy that. And then one of these classes has to be a grand challenge. Again, if you do the honors program, the honors colloquium is always a grand challenge course, and so you will meet that requirement as well. So theoretically, because each class can satisfy 2 general education outcomes and a grand challenge, you could check off all 13 boxes with 6 classes, but that would only give you usually around 18 to 20 credits, and you still need 40 general education credits. So you are going to double count some categories. So even if you come in, say, with a humanities gen ed or a social science gen ed from your AP classes, it's okay to take more. And depending on what your major is, you'll end up with, a lot in different categories, right? If you're an econ major, you're going to end up with a lot of social science. If you are an engineer, you're going to end up with a lot of STEM. If you are, a writing or history major, you're going to end up with a lot of humanities. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that all of our 100 and 200 level honors courses are general education courses. So you're not going to have to take any extra courses in order to meet your honors requirements. And what I want to emphasize here is that for your first year, the only requirement we have in the honors program is that you take 1 class, either in the fall semester or in the spring semester. You can take more. Certainly some people will end up with 2 or perhaps even 3 classes their first year in honors, but that's not a requirement. All you need is 1 class in honors your first year to be considered making progress towards those 18 credits for the honors program. I should also mention most of our 300 level courses are also general education courses, so you can continue with the upper level classes and get general education requirement if you need it. So here are a couple quick examples of honors classes because we have sort of 2 flavors of honors. One is what we call H sections. So an example is EDC 102H, which is an introduction to the American education system. It's required for education majors. And so if you see a class like this with an H at the end, that's an honors section of an already existing course. So in this case, EDC 102H satisfies C3, which is diversity and inclusion, and B4, which is information literacy. Then we also have what are HPR classes. And so our HPR classes are managed more within the honors program. They're all shells, and so they'll each have a sort of subtopic. But HPR 142, for example, is our honors writing course. And so it will satisfy B1, which is writing effectively, and B4, which is information literacy. And you'll see they'll often have sort of a subcategory depending on what the topic will be. And I'm going to give you a link at the end of this video where you can get a longer description of not only all of the honors courses, but specifically the honors courses for first year students. So here are some of the HPR classes that we will have in the fall. So as I mentioned, HPR 142, honors writing. We have a couple sections, I think, of HPR 124, one of which is going to be on superheroes, political leaders, and the power of myth, which I think will be an interesting class that meets social and behavioral sciences and civic responsibility. We have a number of sections of HPR 183G, so that's a grand challenge as well as an honors course, one of which is going to focus on Black Lives Matter. So that satisfies diversity and inclusion, which is C3. And information literacy, which is B4, and it's a grand challenge. So you get a bunch of gen ed categories in that one class. And then HPR 147, the section is going to be a guide to happiness in the face of catastrophe, which seems like a very interesting topic to me. And so that satisfies A3 humanities and B1 writing effectively. So that's some of our 100 level HPR classes that you can sign up for in the fall. We also have a bunch of H section classes. This is just an example. So we have African American history, which is cross-listed between history and African American studies. We have GO 271H, which is the evolution and extinction of the dinosaurs. So if you love dinosaurs, this is the class for you. So that's STEM and information literacy. We have an English class on the short story, Foundations of Health, which is Kinesiology 123H. And then if you have taken the AB calculus exam and you need to take Calc 2, we have an honor section of that, Math 142H. I should also mention we have, for the engineers and physics majors, an honors physics section. So if you're interested in that, that's Physics 203H. So one question I get all the time from honors students is, all right, well, what about my AP credit? So you've probably taken a lot of AP classes. Now, let me say, first of all, if you haven't taken any AP classes, that's fine, right? We don't expect you to come in with any credit, but if you do come in with AP credit or dual enrollment credit or any other credit, the first thing you want to think about is, all right, don't take the class that you're getting credit for again, because you won't get credit for the same class twice. So, for example, if you took the AP US History class, you're going to get credit for History 141 and History 142. You don't want to sign up for those classes again. The nice thing is that a lot of the classes that you're going to get credit for come with general education credits. And so you get those general education credits as if you had taken the class at URI. So I think there's sort of two ways to think about this. One is that you can say, all right, I'm just going to take upper level classes. I don't need to take any more gen ed, and that's fine. I don't recommend necessarily trying to speed through your undergraduate career here. I mean, there are always financial considerations to think about, but you only get to be sort of an undergrad in college once in your life, and my general advice is to take advantage of that. The other way to think about it is that you can use those AP credits to explore a lot of different fields, right? So especially if you have a really tight curriculum like nursing or engineering or pharmacy, there's not a lot of wiggle room. But if you bring in some of those AP credits, then those are classes you don't need to take that are going to be on your curriculum sheet. So if you have something else that you're interested in, whether it's related to your major or not, maybe you want to minor in something, maybe you want to think about a double major, you can explore those options, right? And so you can explore additional classes that you might not otherwise have the space in your schedule to do. All right, so now if you do want to do the 18 credit program, and I certainly recommend it, these are the 18 credits, which are 6 classes that you need to complete. Now keep in mind, you don't need to do this all at once, and in fact you can't do it all at once. This is over 4 years. So remember, in the first year you only need to take one class, either in the fall semester or in the spring semester. So usually that's going to be a 100 or 200 level honors class, right? So you're going to check that box right off. Over the course of 4 years, you will also need to take a 300 or 400 level honors course, the honors colloquium. So most people take it in the fall, but we do offer some smaller spring grand challenge courses that meet the colloquium requirement, and an honors elective. Now that elective is important because that means you can take another 100 or 200 level honors class. So if you take, for instance, Physics 203 in the fall and then Physics 204 in the spring, that will meet both the 100, 200 level class and the honors elective. So that's 12 credits in sort of regular classes that will give you some general education credits as well. And then the last 6 credits are usually done junior and senior year, and that's the honors project and honors seminar, which is HPR 411 or 412. Now, most people will do a 3-credit honors project, which means they also take the honors seminar. But there is the option to do a 6-credit honors project, in which case you don't need to do the honors seminar. But this is in the future. You don't need to worry about all this right now. We will walk you through this multiple times over the course of the next 4 years. So don't worry. All you need to worry about right now is signing up for one honors class, either in the fall, right? That's what you're signing up for right now. But if you can't fit it into your schedule, or you have a really great schedule that you love and you don't want to take an honors class in the fall, you can take one in the spring. That's perfectly fine. All right, so in terms of some program perks, we offer advising either through Starfish or walk-in hours, so during the school year. almost every day. So you can come in with honors-specific questions or specific advising for pre-health and national fellowships. That's available to everybody, whether they're in honors or not. Early registration starting sophomore year. So in January, you will come in early in the semester. You'll fill out a form saying, this is the class I took in the fall, and or this is the class I'm signed up for the spring. And that will give you early registration for the fall 2021 semester. There's honors housing available. So if you are interested in living with other honors students within your LLC, which is your living and learning community, or if you are undeclared and so you don't have a major and you want to be part of the honors undecided LLC, those are both options. And you just have to let housing know that you would like to do that, and they will make sure that that happens. We also, so Lippert Hall is where our offices are and a lot of the honors classes are. There's a student lounge on the 3rd floor. It's a nice place to hang out. It's got a little kitchenette. Some people like to hang out there, some people don't, but I think it's really a nice place to hang out. Now, I also want to talk about two programs that are related to honors, but you don't necessarily have to be in honors to do. One is the Chinese Flagship Program. If you are interested in learning Chinese, this is a great way to do it. You basically double major in Chinese and anything else. So whether you're doing the International Engineering Program, International Business, International Studies and Diplomacy, which is the other program, you can do the Chinese Flagship Program. I should mention also that you can do Chinese without doing the Chinese Flagship Program. So if you're thinking, I might want to do this, I'm not sure, you can still sign up for, introductory Chinese and then decide whether or not you want to do the flagship program. One of our newer majors is International Studies and Diplomacy. So that's also a dual major program. You major in International Studies and one of 5 languages. I should say there's also another option to major in Global Studies as one of your 5 languages and then focus on Japanese or Arabic. So that adds 2 more languages. You study abroad for a semester or a year. And there is a 5-year option where you can get a master's in international relations as well in that 5 years. So now that's the general overview. The key is to sign up for one honors class if you're interested, either in the fall or the spring. These are our social media accounts. So you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. This column is for the honors program. This middle column is for the Office of National Fellowships. And if you're pre-health, definitely make sure you make contact with the pre-health advisors. So that's Andy Simmons and John Albert. You want to make sure that you're taking the right classes, that you're thinking about, they're going to, over the course of the 4 years, they're really going to help you make sure that you're meeting their requirements, you're thinking about where you want to apply, they're going to help you with interview preparation, all those sorts of good things. And so that's their contact information in social media. This summer, because orientation's a little bit different, we're doing it online, I'm going to have scheduled Starfish hours Monday and Thursday. So that's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Monday and 2 to 4 p.m. on Thursday, starting May 18th and going through June 26th. I will sort of have my WebEx open that time. So if you can just download WebEx, you can sign in there. But if you don't have WebEx, I can meet via Zoom, Google Meet, phone, whatever works for you. So really, this is if you have questions about the honors program or about specific classes, or you just want to touch base and talk to me, that is fine. If those times don't work for you, we can find another time to meet. My email's on the next slide. So just keep in mind, I will be definitely available Monday 10 to 12 and Thursday 2 to 4. And you can make an appointment with me via Starfish. If you can't figure that out, just shoot me an email. We'll work it out, no problem. Here is some links and contact information. So our main page is just web.uri.edu/honors. And then if you want to look at the courses, you'll see a link there, but this is the direct link, honors/courses. And then we have a PDF available that lists all of the courses really for first year students. So that's going to basically be the 100 and 200 level courses with the exception of the colloquium, which you take either sophomore or junior year. Here's my email address, lmalloy@uri.edu. Shoot me an email with any questions. If you can schedule an appointment via Starfish, great. If you're having trouble with it, just shoot me an email and we can figure out a time to meet. And whether we want to meet via WebEx, Zoom, Google Meet, whatever. So I look forward to seeing you all virtually this summer and hopefully in person in the fall. And let me know if you have any questions as you're going through the orientation process.